Victor Wembanyama is the most hyped NBA prospect since LeBron James. 20 years after LeBron entered with astronomically high expectations and then delivered, it's now Wembanyama's turn to answer the hype. MVPs, championships, the Hall of Fame, fair or not, those are the expectations and that's the bar for success. But while the hype is justified, we still have some major questions. Here's why. The hype begins with a tape measure. This past year, the 19-year-old sprouted from 7'3" to 7'5", which will make him the tallest player in the NBA from day one. Stretching 8 feet wide from one fingertip to the other, Wemby's wingspan would be the third largest in NBA history, trailing only Taco Fall and Manute Bol. That combination of size and length, along with uncanny speed, skill, and instincts, makes Wemby, on paper, one of the best defensive prospects ever. He's special on both ends, and the stats back it up. Playing last year for the Metropolitans 92, Wemby took home 6 awards. Yes, 6. MVP, Best Young Player, Best Defender, Top Scorer, Best Blocker, and First Team All-League. Not too bad for a 19-year-old. In 34 games, Wemby stuffed the stat sheet. 21.6 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game, while shooting 47% from the field and a scorching 83% from the free throw line. And when you stack him up to some of the NBA's all-time prospects, he more than holds his own. Though playing in a lesser league, and more on that in a minute, Wemby put up gaudier numbers than even Luka Doncic did in his final season playing in Spain. Wembanyama's numbers across the board are also comparable to Zion Williamson from his 1 year at Duke, with the Frenchie owning the edge in rebounds, assists, and blocks while scoring at an almost identical rate. And what about the Joker? After being taken in the second round in 2014, Nikola Jokic actually returned to play one more year in Europe before then coming to the NBA. The future 2-time MVP blossomed, and he won Adriatic League MVP in Serbia. Wemby's numbers? You guessed it, better than Jokic. And then, of course, there's LeBron, the king himself. Now, the competition level between American high school and a European pro league is apples and oranges, so there's not much benefit in taking this comp too seriously, but in case you were wondering, LeBron put up 30, 10, and 5 during his senior year of high school. Now, I know what you're saying. How good can Wembanyama's competition actually be? His team, the Metropolitans 92, plays in the LMB Pro A, or more simply known as the French Pro League. It's widely considered by most experts the 5th best league in Europe, trailing the EuroLeague and then domestic leagues in Spain, Turkey, and Italy. So no, it's not the NBA, but that doesn't mean it's devoid of NBA talent. One of the myths that skeptics will try saying is that Victor Wembanyama hasn't played against anyone. It's the same recycled garbage that led to Luka getting drafted behind DeAndre Ayton and Marvin Bagley back in 2018, simply because he was playing in Spain instead of the Pac-12 or ACC. So let's go ahead and dispel this myth right now. The truth is, Wembanyama has been playing against legit pros for years. If you pour through all of his game logs, you'll find that he played against 20 former NBA players this past season alone. He played against 48 more in the EuroLeague, 11 in his previous French League season, and 6 more in the U19 FIBA World Cup. Add it all up, and that's a grand total of 85 different former NBA players in 2 years. And that doesn't even account for the hundreds of seasoned, fully developed adult pros. These are not kids or future accountants that Wembanyama is playing against. So don't listen to anyone who tosses out competition as the reason for why Wemby won't live up to the hype. They're being either lazy or ignorant, and it's really that simple. Now, if you're looking for the real reason he might not live up to the hype, it's health. For anyone his size, let alone someone moving laterally, sprinting, and leaping as much as he does, health is always going to be a risk factor. Unfortunately for Wembanyama, it's already a part of his story. In December of 2020, a stress fracture in his fibula caused him to miss 3 months. In November of 2021, a fractured finger sidelined him for a month. Right after coming back in December of that year, a shoulder contusion then shelved him for another 2 months. Flash forward to June of 22, and a mysterious muscle injury related to both his back and knee, 2 major red flags, ended his club season and also kept him from competing for the French national team at Eurobasket. Although mostly healthy this past year, Wembanyama only played 33 of a possible 76 games for his club team in the 2021-22 season. From Greg Oden and Sam Bowie to Bill Walton and Yao Ming, there is no shortage of cautionary tales when it comes to prodigious big men in the NBA, who either never reached their full potential or had stellar careers cut short. Yes, Victor Wembanyama is his own man, and the health of past players has no actual bearing on his ability to stay on the floor. But fair or not, it's certainly part of the conversation. In fact, it has to be. The same reason that makes the French phenom a generational prospect is the same reason why there's no guarantee he'll become a generational star. The fact of the matter is, we've never seen someone of his stature deliver on the expectations lumped on his 7'5" frame. Again, multiple All-Star teams, MVPs, championships. Those are the standards by which he'll be judged. Throughout all of NBA history, there have only been 26 players standing 7'3" or taller. Just 6 of them, Kristaps Porzingis, Yao Ming, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Mark Eaton, Rick Smits, and Ralph Sampson, ever made even a single All-Star team. And only Yao and Sampson ever made more than 2 of them. None of the 26 ever made first-team All-NBA, while only Sampson, who finished 10th, ever finished inside the top 10 in MVP voting. So think about all of that history, and then think about Victor Wembanyama, who is expected to do not one of them, but all of them. Make no mistake, this is an uphill battle. At the end of the day, rolling out the red carpet for Wendy's arrival is the right move. He's on the shortest of short lists, the prospects who from day one hear whispers of GOAT talk from respected people who know what they're talking about. We've never seen anyone like Victor Wembanyama before. He is truly a one of one. And that's precisely why you should be simultaneously excited to no end and absolutely scared to death.